Hi, welcome back to another episode of Chicken Hawk Talk. Today with us, we have two new special members.
I'm Ariel.
I'm Ajeuné.
And of course, we've been here for a while, Jadynn.
You guys know us already.
Yeah.
Kemiah. Okay. So, being that it's Women's History Month, we want to highlight some very important women of history. Starting with Marie Curie, who was, a very, very important biochemist. She was the one that technically, yeah. She was the one who discovered and invented most of the radiology tech that we use today. We love to see her. She won Nobel Prizes, guys. But she also died from her job.
Oh,
that's great.
Irony, but that's fine.
Yeah.
My person is Barbara Jordan. She was the first black woman who was a state senator in the U.S. She was even a senator of Texas, which, if Texas is bad now, you know how bad it was 50, 60 years ago, right? So the fact that she was able to not only be in the Senate, but also the House of Representatives in 1972, and she even spoke for when President Nixon was getting impeached, because it was during his administration. She gave a talk and a speech and encouraged the others to impeach him. So,
girl boss, love to see it.
Right.
As you should. To be honest.
My woman is Marilyn Monroe. She was a singer, dancer, actor, and she was iconic, just amazing. She did have a lot of sex scandals, but
We don't have to talk about that. We don't have to talk about that.
You know what? That's the girl boss move. I don't care what you say. Nah.
But her death was a whole conspiracy and things. But we don't have to talk about that.
Right.
We're highlighting the good, and in my eyes, women can do no wrong. Well, for the most part,
Mm-hmm.
But the woman that I will be highlighting, instead of saying my woman, I will be highlighting. Is Maya Angelou, and apparently her real name isn't Maya Angelou. I don't like when people have different names, but yeah, her real name is Margaret Ann Johnson. So of course we know that she's a poet, she's an author, she's an activist, again, girl boss. But she's also an actor and a dancer, and I feel like I've never heard that about her. I feel like I know more about her written talent, and I feel like if you have good writing skills, you may be a good speaker as well. And I feel like all that together, she could have been in a pageant,
to be honest,
honestly, because you got the you have the talent, the brains, and the beauty. Girl,
what are you waiting for?
Honestly,
what are you waiting for?
I mean, same thing with Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah,
I feel like, especially now that it's pageant season, we see more.
Love to see it.
Right.
We have Miss Ivana Udorkin that just passed. Miss CAHS coming up this weekend. We also have Prince, Princess, Queen Show. Is it Calypso?
Junior Miss. We have
Junior Miss. Do we have Calypso this year?
I don't think so.
I don't think we have Calypso this year.
I don't think so.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what are you guys' views on pageantry as a whole? Because I feel like we talk about it a lot down here. It's a big thing, especially during carnival season.
It's really cool. I want to partake in it when I grow up. Well, when I get older. That sounds weird. But it's interesting. Everybody's really pretty who participate. So yeah.
I think pageantry is one of those things that people oppose in the name of being feminist. They're like, oh well, we don't want to see women as objects, we don't want to see, so we should stop doing pageants. It's dehumanizing, but it's also empowering for some people, and it's not a one size fits all type thing. So I think they're cool, and I think if people like them, then there isn't really anything wrong with them.
Right. Because I feel like it is empowering.
English
is difficult. Oh my goodness. But I feel like it is that word, because I'm not gonna struggle again.
Right.
To be in a pageant, because you still have to showcase different talents, like what I mentioned. It's brain and beauty. So you're not just going up on a stage modeling and doing the pageant wave. It's not just that. You still have the Q&A. You have to show that you have some sort of intelligence or intellect and poise, and they still have to show some type of talent. So whether it's dancing, singing, maracas,
right?
You're still doing something.
And a lot of people dumb it down so that it just seems like, oh, it's a beauty contest, but
Right.
really it's a lot more than that.
Yeah, and even for Carnival Queen, they have platforms. I think it's a platform that they have to advertise. Like, we had an assembly, I guess we could say, where they talked about mental health, because that was one of their platforms that they speak on. I was like, oh, that's cool. So that just shows it's not just beauty.
Mm-hmm.
And then remember, there are like requirements for pageants. So like, even if you're like in high school or you're doing junior miss, they usually give you a list of all the things you have to maintain. Higher averages, you have to appearances. You have to make different appearances at different events. You have to interact with your community, and you basically have to stay on top of everything while practicing. And you have like 5 to 6 practices a day while doing work.
That sounds like a lot.
It
Right.
is. You don't get home till after 10.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, even with interacting with your community, that just shows like it's not just a okay, I win, I'm pretty, I have the crown and trophy and flowers.
No,
You
they'll
still
take
have
it
to.
away.
Yeah, you still have to do stuff for your community. I feel like that's part of the requirements that they may have, just to show like the public that it really isn't just put a
Beauty.
smile and you win. You actually have to do stuff for your title, because I guess queen, if you're a pageant queen, you should
Be like a queen.
be like a queen,
Right. Or better than a
Behave as
queen, because
such.
Queen
Right.
Elizabeth could never. She's
Oh.
dead now, but it's
Oh.
fine.
Alright. Wow.
Dark real quick.
Hope there's no more British watching.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey guys.
Hey.
But seeing how dedicated the CHS people are who are running, it's really like encouraging and motivating to see that they take their time to actually like put effort into running and convincing people to run.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean to vote. Oh my gosh.
And putting yourself out there like that is like scary. So props to them, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a comment you would like to make?
I had to drag her to go take the applications. But look at her
Oh.
now. I'm so proud.
Oh wow.
Oh.
I'm so proud.
No need to name drop. So that's
No.
it. That's good. You can keep it at that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like we talked about. It's good that we talked about the but do you guys feel like there's any other downsides to pageantry that people may not really think about?
The stress.
Yeah, and the toxicity.
The toxicity.
Yes, thank you. I couldn't say that word.
Maybe like the standards people are judged on. I think actually the audience is a big part of the disadvantages.
Yeah.
Because when certain people win, then you have all the, incels in the audience being like,
Famous one.
they,
It was rigged.
right.
Honestly.
And like I think that creates the toxic environment. And it's not even like, oh, and I know that like I've heard stories of people in pageants saying that it's like it's really ruthless competition, but I think that it's also because the audience is driving that, and there's always this, oh well, they're not pretty enough to have won, so why,
That's like exactly what happened at Ken pageant.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah,
saying
that's
the
what I was
girl-
thinking
Yeah.
about.
They rigged the competition because she won.
And
That's
it's like
unfair.
every year, it's the
Mhm.
same
Right.
thing
Right.
for every competition. It's like, might as well.
And I feel like that's a deterrence for many people who may want to run, because
Yeah.
I would want to run for a pageant, but then next if I do win, everybody wants to throw tomatoes at me because they're like, oh no, number 2 should have won, number 3 should have won. Like, no, that's a cheat. Like, I just tried my
just
best.
nice.
I'm just here.
People can't just mind their own business. That's the
Right.
problem.
And I
That
feel like
6-0 was a practice meant nothing, apparently.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like the audience are really the ones who are ruthless, because I feel like they're also biased because we all saw the same show.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, but your contestant messed up. Okay, she stumbled on stage and she was not very graceful. That's when she lost points. I'm sorry, but that's why this other person won.
Mm-hmm. But then they're like close to the person, so it's like, yeah.
I gotta root for my girl. No,
I'm sorry.
your girl nearly tripped.
You don't need to
do that.
tear-
Right,
You
she
don't
could
need to
not walk
tear
in
down.
her dress.
Right.
I'm sorry. It's not her fault. Well,
You don't have to tear down other people to root for who you want to root for.
Right, just
Right.
be like, you did your best.
like
Yeah.
this support.
Let's try again next time.
The support is lovely, right? Like, I love that you're a ride or die, but there's no need for the die part. Like, you don't have to
Right.
like tear down this other
'Cause You're
girl.
gonna have me being delusional. be
Right.
like, yeah, guys, I should have won. Like, no.
Yeah, and that's the problem, because then you have those same girls who sometimes, like, their family or their supporters, like, root for them so much, and they lie to them, just like, oh, you did so much better than the other girl. So now they're just over here thinking that they're the best, and, like, telling everybody that, oh, no, I should have won. Like, this other girl cheated because she knew someone. Like, honey, it's okay. You can lose gracefully.
Oh my gosh, her auntie was the
Humble
judge.
yourself.
Right. Like, come on now.
Oh my goodness. I feel like they needs to have a humility class, not just for the contestants, but perhaps for their family members as well. Just like, hey, you know, this
Send
is a
out
meeting.
a survey the week before the pageant.
Right.
Be like,
just like,
come
hey,
on,
you know,
press
I
this
just
link.
need everyone to understand, yes, you spent over $1,000 for this girl,
yeah.
but you know,
Oh.
she could lose.
Let's bounce that up to 5,000.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there's 4 people. She has a 25% chance of winning. Okay, do the statistics.
Do they win
Ooh.
money? I'm not familiar with like.
I mean, it depends on the pageant.
win, like,
Some people may win a
scholarships and different
scholarship.
stuff.
Others may win a gift. I don't know about a gift card,
like, I
but
think our show, they win a scholarship and also different platforms.
Do you know about winning Carnival Queen?
I think
Carnival
they had
Queen,
I think the last one
what's
I went
the
to, I
age
haven't
limit
been
for
to
that
one,
one?
like 20
Like,
something,
Yeah.
maybe like early 20s.
I guess depending if they're still in college or they're planning to do something. I have no idea. Probably money or platform.
I
Or
hope
job.
money.
I hope it's
Yeah, I
money.
think there's a sponsor, and then if you get sponsors, they may also.
Oh, I
like,
think
give you
it
something.
mainly depends on what they're planning to do after, like, the competition. So let's say you want to work in the fashion industry, you get different connections too, so and so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know, there's benefits to pageantry. Like, I can't remember which pageant I saw that because they won, they got to live in this like penthouse for a year,
What?
and I was like, oh my
Oh, say
goodness.
less.
I'm like, where can I sign up? Granted,
In
it's
this economy, just like a
Right.
free place to
Just
live.
like,
for
guys,
a year.
no,
We
rent
got
for
you a
year?
mansion to live in for a year. Say less. Where do I sign up?
It's cool.
Give me the paper.
Oh my goodness. And it's speaking like with the pageantry, I also think of you know, like there's the good moments, the bad moments, and then the funny moments, like the France. I don't know if y'all saw that
Oh
one.
yeah, the Miss USA thing, right? Or, sorry, not
It's-
the
I
Miss
think
World.
Miss
Wi-
World,
It's like the world.
Miss Universe,
Miss
Universe.
Universe,
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
You know, those introductions have me cracking
they were
up,
just screaming.
especially
France.
especially like the TikToks mocking them. Oh my goodness.
They're hilarious. Costa Rica.
Panama.
Every time.
Oh my goodness, that takes a lot of bravery to like act like that too. Like I feel like there's like
Right.
a whole like mask that they put on, because I'm like, she's never talked like that before a day in her life. Where is that
Right.
voice coming from?
Right. When you hear them giving their speeches, and you're just like, is this the same person I know?
Yeah,
Like,
where'd you learn to talk like that?
Right.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
we love
goodness.
to see it. But I want to know how the contestants usually feel like after a big competition. Like, besides the hate and everything, like, how do they feel? Like, you're going home with a crown, money, flowers.
I feel like they may feel relieved to some extent, because then it's
Yeah.
like, okay, the practices are over. I can stop worrying and spending money and doing all of this and that. But then there's also like that empty feeling of like, what am I
Yeah.
supposed to do now?
Like, I have 6 hours that are free. What
Right,
do I do?
Right.
And I feel like that for intro night, and I'm like, well, what
Mm.
am I supposed to do with my time now?
Mm.
That like I'm no longer at practices or anything. So I imagine it's something like that. Because even for like dance performances, it feels like that too.
Like you lose the routine that you've kind of become accustomed
And
to.
you're also kind of cussed about, you know, because
Yeah.
it's like all my hours are gone.
Right.
Ugh.
When you have to cancel on everybody. Sorry. Got something to do.
Right.
Sorry. Can't.
Right, because you have like the speech coach, and then you have a talent coach. And then you have to go like take pictures every now and again to like keep people interested. Like
And the intro dance or something like that.
right, you still have like
Right.
the intro dance and everything.
You gotta practice with each other how you're gonna come out, and then you usually have to practice your own personal practices.
And then the Q&A, I think they give like sometimes they give topics.
Yeah.
So then you have to like research them. So that way if they ask you one of the topics, you're prepared. So
Sort of.
well, I don't feel like they would ask like the question itself, but I mean
Yeah.
like they may say something like global warming, and they ask, what would you do to help stop the Willow Project? You know, like that has to do with global warming, but it's not like actually global warming under that. I don't know what I'm pointing to. Just pretend it's like a board or something. I don't know, but yeah. But I've always been curious about their relationship with each other, like if they're friends.
You'd be
How does that
surprised,
work?
actually.
Because it's like I'm competing against you. Like I low key hope that you lose so I could get the crown. Like I want to know
Right.
what goes on in their
I
mind.
feel like at a certain point you have to be like, you have to set a boundary. So even, let's say from, okay, let's use me and you for example, right?
Mhm.
Let's say from the time we enter school to the time we leave, the time we head to practice, we're friends. As soon as we enter that auditorium, that's
I
done.
don't know you.
I don't know you. Who are you? I've never seen you a day in my life.
Right, we're not friends right now. Like you know,
Right.
we may be cordial, but
You're an acquaintance,
right, you're not,
but you're not my
we're not-
friend.
But I feel like then you can't talk because you know how sometimes you talk to your friends like, oh my god, practice was so fun. Like I
Yeah.
learned this, knew that. I can't tell you that.
I just feel like on competition day, it's like, good luck to you. We'll see who wins.
Yeah.
And then at the end, like, even if
May the better
you
one
don't
win.
win, I don't win, we still have to be there for each other and be like, next year.
Right.
It depends on the type of person too,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
there are some people who will like lie to your face and be like, "Oh, we'll totally be friends after this."
No, you will not.
Right?
Yeah.
But then they like are under the assumption that they will win, and so
Right.
then when they don't, then it's like,
And that ties back into the audience, please. She
Yeah.
didn't deserve to win.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how the losers feel like after
Probably
they
bad.
lose.
Well, that's everybody.
I have an story to tell you, but that's for later.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, that's like a
See,
chicken hawk after dark.
Yeah.
Kinda deal.
Yeah. Possibly coming soon. We'll never know.
Oh,
Not only
okay.
that, maybe it won't be chicken hawk though, because that's the school.
No,
Right,
it will be
right,
something else.
Like the teen talk, after dark.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Mm.
nice.
You know, we said in a school podcast, so we had to give it a different name
Yeah.
just in case. And then, oh my goodness, you guys think anything else about pageantry? Anything else?
You know what I love about pageantry? Our culture down here. How we keep it all together. Like, even if, let's say, Miss CAHS, whoever that's going to be,
Mhm.
tie it up, everyone, even in the community, if they see you, be like, hey, Miss CAHS, nice to
Right.
see you. You know, we keep it cordial, we keep it friendly, and we keep
Yeah.
it straight. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen,
I
English.
feel like you should do it like the pageant talk. Oh, hold on.
Oh.
And I am Jadynn. I'm not saying the rest of my name blank. And this is the end of Chicken Hawk Talk.
The wave.
I
Right.
can't do it.